youth and new ideas, but even by familiar standards, the development of fashion in a unique old Cape Town building is extraordinary. Built by Victorians for the manufacture of beer, the Old Breweries Building is now in a ferment of new fashion ideas, and a group of young designers has moved into its fascinating rooms and cellars to create the vibiest hive of original design ideas in the country, where the old and the new meet with startling effects.
But what kind of person would want to work in an old brewery? Rob Cromholt, advertising man, tells us.
I think everybody here is a little wacky. You've got to be, I think, a little special and highly creative.
People thought of the building as a castle in the old days, thus the beer's name. Today, the building is used by creative people. There are many small businesses, mostly fashion-related. The architects responsible for keeping the building intact are also here. It's in the industrial area close to the docks, and the front doorstep used to be a railway platform. Hunts and Robin's views?
It's a very enjoyable place to come every day to work. As such.
Inspiring. Fazli is a Mauritian fashion designer who now works out of a ground floor studio at the Old Breweries Building. His clients are quite happy to come here, and he wouldn't be anywhere else.
The moment I saw the building, I thought that was it. I really fell in love with this building. It is so different from being into a concrete new building that it just looked like one is not working, one is just having fun while working at the same time.
Dee of Dee Frock, also a designer, has turned the bareness of her studio into something quite beautiful. Everywhere you go here, there were smiles, friendly hellos, kids. Martin of Latin Quarter, a leather business here, explains.
I've always loved it here. It's a very nice feeling. I think there are a lot of creative people in the building. And even though you don't actually deal with them on a daily basis, I think there's enough happening in the building that you do feel the atmosphere. And I feel that part of that creative atmosphere, you feel so much better going to work in the day rather than going to some dingy place.
None of the offices are dingy. There is a good atmosphere, and everyone's pleased the building wasn't demolished.
One of the nice things about this building is it's an example of what can happen with old warehouses. It's a tragic thing that so many wonderful warehouses, architecturally important things, get demolished, and then some monstrosity gets built in its place. And I think this is a very good example of just pure economic sense, that to knock it down and rebuild it, you just simply don't do it for the same money. And I think it's a trend that's starting to happen in Cape Town, maybe throughout the world, that people are starting to realize that not only for aesthetic reasons, but pure economic reasons, that you don't knock things down.
This conference room is shared, and so are a lot of other things here. Dee and Sean explain.
I think there's a spirit that runs through the building that, you know, especially between the people that have been here for a long time, that we all share. And I think we all feel about, you know, the same way about the place.
It's got a nice ambience, really nice atmosphere. It's really useful in that we got people down the lane that do machining and lathing of different bits for the machines and all. You can always run out to a neighbor and get a bit of thread, as everybody's pretty much in similar businesses.
From an architectural point of view, the building is very unusual because it was a working brewery. Rooms look down into other rooms.
What we have here is a CMT operation, which are, in fact, here making garments, and it's just, again, showing off this beautiful high volume.
Even the smallest offices have large volume, and each space is enhanced by huge windows, enabling people like Peter of Handmade Models to work with natural light. David Brown and John Scottness are on the top story of the building. Their studio has all the space they need for their sculptures. It's become an international trend to save buildings, New York's lofts, London's dockyards. 5 years ago, these spaces were shared with pigeons, and they were leaking roofs.
It's grown on me. I don't think I'd ever like to leave this building. It's just got a very, very true, special feeling. And the reactions we get from people who come to see us, our clients, they're not used to this. They're not used to, I would say, a European or American feel happening right here in Cape Town.
It's becoming, I think, more than anything else, a little bit of a trendy address to be at. That there's a sort of it's a place to be seen, a place to be part of. And in the end, I think that more than anything else, the spaces that people are in are great. They're kind of unique. The trains come past.
Dis weer eens tyd om te kyk na een van die finaliste in die AA Lewens Mnet Vita toekennings vir rolprente in Suid-Afrika. En hier